Hey y'all, welcome to my podcast, Loving My Growth, where we pick tips and topics that inspire growth or cover growth. So as always, if you remember or if you haven't watched us before, I usually cover a word of the day before we get into our conversation, and then at the end I cover a business or service, a business, a product that I want y'all to get into. So anyway, today I haven't thought of yet the title of this episode, but it's gonna come to me. But because of everything that we've talked about and what you've been posting, my word of the day is pedophile. Pedophile is a person, any person, as long as it's a person, who is sexually attracted to children. That's the definition. So it doesn't matter what their sexual orientation is. It doesn't matter if they're male or female. It doesn't matter. But it's a person who is sexually attracted to children, normally an adult. So that's my word of the day. If you don't know, look it up, research it, read about it, understand it. But make sure y'all not out here, judging folk prematurely until you know what you're talking about. So anyway, with that being said, I'm going to put the phone down. My guest today is Lee. Is it Renfield?
Renfro.
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 Okay, Junior.
Yeah.
Crazy story. I'm on Facebook, scrolling, looking for ideas, business stuff, just reading stuff, and I came across a post. And that post touched me. And it was God. I'm going to say it was, because normally I'll be like, oh, and the little yellow man holding the heart and hugging. I'll put it and then move on. But I was inspired to comment. And from there, I was inspired to, hold on.
Yeah.
We need to bring him on the show. Hold on. Let's get it together. So I did mention it. I reached out. And that was, a week ago?
Yeah.
Moving fast.
Yeah.
And now we have you here.
Yes.
Go ahead and tell my viewers about you. Who is Lee?
Well, my name is Lee Renfro from San Francisco, California, Double Rock, Bayview, Hunters Point. And I was born 6/30/1972. I'll be 49 my next birthday. Ooh. And I was a pretty loving child. I was always, I remember from the age of 3 where I was always wanting to give mama a hug, give daddy a hug, give kisses and stuff like that, and tell people I love you. And from at the age of 4, I had some visitors, which was my cousin and his girlfriend. He was 19. She was like 17, 18. And it started from there where he used to like to hold me and give me kisses and stuff like that. And it was just a loving thing. Till one night I woke up and he called me in the room that he was staying with us in. And me and my other siblings start playing with his penis. And, he just allowed it. And the things that went on was just like new and actually fascinating to me,
Right.
And
as a kid,
I was like, wow.
Let's be clear.
Yeah.
4 years old.
4 years old. Yeah. So I was just like, wow, and from then on, he started doing it more often with me, more so than my sibling. My sibling tried to tell that he was spitting, because we called it spitting when he got there. And so My mom was like, what you spitting for making my son get the toilet paper? He was like, I was coughing and spit came out. She was like, well, next time get your own toilet paper. And he looked at me and I was like, so that meant like, don't ever tell nobody else. So at 4 years old, I learned how to keep a secret, and he was just real charming and loving. And his girlfriend, she was pretty mean. One episode we had, and my sibling was trying to keep me out the room, but I really wanted to be in the room and, see and get a part of what was going on. And so when they did let me in the room, his girlfriend was, brought me to eat between her legs. And so I did it thinking it, was cool, but she stuffed my head between her legs and pumped my face until she got her orgasm. My face was wet and sticky and I was cursing, and that was the first time I knew how to read, because I was reading her down, and he was trying to calm me down and get me to shut up, and we went on from there to where I was 4, then 5. They left. He got into some mess where he tried to do something with a cousin, and my father caught him and flashed on him and put him out that day. So 6 years old, I told, because he was making my cousin beat up my sister. So I was like, okay, I got something for y'all. When my moms and them came home from the club in Mississippi, I said, Mama, guess what Charles Rand Barber did? And she was like, so what did we do? And my mom was like, bitch, don't question my kids. And she was like, well, they mentioned my name. So a big brawl went out, and we told what happened, and everybody was crying and screaming, and moms ran out the house, and I held my sibling crying because I thought they was going to kill me for telling, and the next day, everything was swept under the rug as if nothing happened. And I remember, 7, starting to smoke cigarettes, get involved with the alcohol, and enjoying that feeling of my head spinning and my chest burning, and just getting into things, being more curious, from, the things that he did, and wanting to see grown men body parts, And I tried to touch a cousin one time, and he pushed me into a burning heater, and I burned my leg, and he was just like, don't tell, and I didn't tell. But after that, I just, got into drugs, smoking weed at 10, trying cocaine and the weed at 11 with my homeboys, smoking crack with an adult woman that was doing my Jerry curl. She was like cousin-in-law, and she was smoking on the pipe. So I was like, I want to try it. So she was like, she showed me how to do it and what to do, and it was just on from there to where 13, 14, 15 was juveniles and group homes, just.
So all this trauma, regardless if as a kid you were curious or interested or what have you, all this is trauma.
It was very much so trauma, a lot of trauma. That and I got a lot of whippings for doing so much wrong. My mother was very boot camp military, type of person, and so she didn't let us get away with nothing. And I always was doing something, getting sent home from school. I could not focus in school because I was thinking about having sex all day with the babysitter, my cousin, when I got home, because I was actually falling in love. Whether I knew it or not, because I thought about him all day. And I couldn't focus on school and what the teacher wanted me to do. I was like, that's too much.
Right.
But I learned what I needed to learn, but it was still hard,
And at no point, even after everybody found out, there was no, again, you're about to be 49, so this is 70s, late 70s. Nobody said, let's get him help. Let's get the family help.
Yeah, well, I went into Waldenhouse drug program at 16, and I talked about it with a therapist. I finally felt comfortable with my therapist to where I reopened it, and I cried many nights, all night, and it was just a lot going through it and remembering the stuff and having to walk through all the things and being picked on by the homeboys because I was a little bit too feminine or real thick, and I wore my clothes tight, so it was more so girly to them. I wasn't real masculine, so I would get jumped on until I learned how to fight back, you know, and make a name for myself with that, you know. But
kids are cruel.
Yeah, you know, it was kids was just being kids, you know. And I got it from some adults too, because they was like, his booty too big. Why he wear his pants so tight? You know, did he want to be a girl or something?
Oh, adults are cruel.
In some ways, from being molested and stuff by him, he created a feminine side in me to where at one point I did feel like a girl. I used to wear my sister clothes, my mother wigs and heels and purse, and did my makeup as my mom did. But then at the same time, I seen my father shaving and doing stuff like that, so I would shave myself too. You know, just be in the bathroom messing with his powder. You know, Pops had that powder you mix up.
Magic.
Yeah,
oh God. Yes. Oh wait. Oh.
So, you know, I
smell.
just, yeah, you know, I had my masculine and my feminine side from just being young, and just growing up, I just started being, you know, I did some mean things in the streets to get money, you know, the reason why I kept getting sent to juveniles in different places, and, you know, the drugs and the stealing and the robbing, and the juveniles went to the drug programs. I went to 3 drug programs. I went to 5 different prisons. I went to 4 county jails and juveniles. Yeah, so it's like.
So at what point? So I know you said you went to Waldenhouse at 16.
Yeah.
How did that help? I mean, other than you being able to release a little bit, did it help?
Well, they gave me tools, a lot of tools throughout the years, because I went there when I was 16 to 17 to 18, and then I went back again when I was 20 to the adult facility.
Okay.
And just through my times at Waldenhouse, they gave me a lot of tools to use to communicate to people without using so many curse words, without saying, you know what I'm saying after every word, and how to focus on God and just, you know, just
express
be cool,
yourself,
express myself, because I have a mental disability, depression that's real. You know, like I just sat here and almost cried and had to grab myself, and you know, it's like that really all the time, to where sometimes when I get at that place, I know I need to talk. You know, and that's what Waldenhouse taught me. Talk about it, get it out. You know, so I'll post to Facebook. I don't care who hear or don't hear. And a lot of people have said, man, your story always helped me. Every time, you know, you post it, you know, and I post it because I be going through it. It's like I'm scarred for life, but I'm healed through God and Jesus walking in my spirit and helping me out. Okay. You know.
Okay. Yeah, it touched me. And I know you said you posted it a few times. And that particular day when I saw it, it was like, okay. And, I mean, we just aired my episode, Mental Illness from a Black Man's Perspective.
Yeah.
And here we are again talking to a Black man.
Right.
You know, who has also suffered through, you know, traumas, as well as, you know, the mental health piece.
Hey family, it's your girl, Revolutionary Rica. Please tune in the last day of every month for Revolutionary Rica Speaks at 6 p.m. If you miss it on my page on YouTube, Revolutionary Rica Speaks, check it out on the Dark Network, 247.com. I can't wait to see you. Come get this game.
Hey y'all, it's Lavette here with my man Elam.
Hey.
We here talking about mental illness from a Black man's perspective. Is deep. So you guys want to stay tuned. You want to watch. It got everything.
Let's go.
What do you see as the problem with the black community?
Me personally, I see the problem being us believing the hype. Us believing the hype and stopping us from walking in our purpose. Stockholm syndrome. A condition where you believe that you are something that you're not based on what this other person who's holding you in prison makes you feel.
And I'll just add, when you're in that situation, the trauma, that turns into trauma, right? All of this is blocking that purpose, the thing you was born to do. All of these experiences, all of these conditionings and manipulations by these other people. And so our solution from OCOR is...
And using our community as a resource. That's what OCOR stands for. Coming in and finding people who you didn't think had talents, but everybody has a talent.
Absolutely.
And utilizing those talents to make our community, little by little, block by block, a better place for everybody in it.
So with the mental health piece, you said you suffer from depression.
Depression, and my attention span goes off. I could be talking to somebody and branch off on 3 different conversations, and my one friend Nathan, he was like, hold on, you branching, because I can't keep up with all these 3 places you're taking me to, and my brain just so rapid. I post so much. I post a lot because my brain is just so rapid.
Okay.
And then I smoke me some weed and I'll calm down a little bit.
Okay.
I had to leave the alcohol and drugs alone. I totally left, I prayed to God and I asked God to help me put it down. And I don't drink and I don't smoke coke or use crack or none of that. I just smoke my weed,
Okay. And that's without... You do therapy now?
I don't do therapy because I know my therapy is with God, and I don't take that. Some people should do therapy. I've been there. I've done that. I got it. I know, what I need to do. Just keep talking, and people like you listen and, conversate back with me, and, it helps.
Okay, yeah. No, I'm an advocate for therapy.
I am.
I go twice a week.
Oh, okay, yeah. I would go to therapy if I really felt like you need to get back in therapy, but it's like, yeah.
Right. Okay. What about, have you ever been on meds? Have they ever?
I've been on Zoloft, Haldol. I was moving like a zombie, and my stomach be up to here, and I was just like, whoa. So I was like, I got to get off this. So when I winged myself off of it, I was like, this weed gonna have to do. You're gonna have to slow me down and slow my brain process and make me feel, like, okay, things are okay, because I get nervous and like, oh, something about to happen. Like I just drunk a cup of coffee or something.
Right.
And it's like, no, nothing about to happen. You cool.
Right. Talk your way through it.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is being aware.
Yeah.
With your story, I think you take your power back when you're able to express, this happened to me.
Yeah.
And it's not controlling me.
That part.
It happened to me.
Because it can control you.
Yeah, it can.
Which people don't know. What some people that it haven't happened to them, they be like, get over it. Leave it alone. Stop talking about it.
Right.
Even in the past, if you keep bringing it up, it's going. I'm like, well, I'm not bringing it up. It's bringing itself up in me.
Right.
To where I have to get it out. You know?
But even so now, it's not about, you dwelling on it. It's about you've been there. Now you're here. Now you need for other people that are going through similar situations to hear your story
and know that they can share their story.
Right, exactly. And you know, the scary part about it is those people that got something to say.
Like the guy that felt I was promoting homosexuality to kids because I was speaking about my story and being honest that I'm a homosexual man that was molested. And he was like, well, you're promoting homosexuality and you pretty much are a pedophile yourself. And I'm like, hold up, partner. I like grown, strong, scrappy men, you know what I'm saying? And beautiful women, you know, that's classy and not nasty, you know? So I know I protect kids. I love kids.
Right.
But I don't like kids that get on my nerves.
Right.
So, you know, but there's nothing about a kid body that would do anything for me. And I would pluck my own eyes out if God didn't do it first.
Right.
You know, so that's how I feel, you know.
Right. But and that's the hard part, is that you're always going to have somebody that has something to say.
Yeah, right.
And I did see those posts,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt like you handled yourself well.
Thank you.
Because it is hard. And with everything that you're dealing with, okay, I've showed my strength by saying this, by publicly announcing this happened to me, by publicly announcing this is who I am, and now you have this person who feels, let me get my opinion out there. This is my opinion. You can have an opinion. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. But you're pushing your opinion a little too hard.
Too hard.
And you're trying to make me out to be somebody that I'm not.
Right.
You know, so... And other people, of course, are reading this, and there may be some people that agree.
Yeah, and people felt I should have deleted it, but I felt it needed to be talked about on some level. So I'm like, why delete something like that? I have nothing to hide. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about it.
Right.
You know.
Right. And
like Lisa, I'm an honest hoe, and all my hoes.
She sure did. Talking about we stealing.
Right. Who's in charge of the girl? Yeah.
But, I mean, it's so inspiring.
Thank you.
Because a lot of us have gone through this. And, you know, a lot of families have gone through that to where they didn't know how to deal with it when it did come up. Yeah. And all they did was sweep it under the rug. What happens in the house stays in the house. Yeah, you know, that's just that's just our crazy uncle. He just do things.
Right. I talked to him about 5 years ago, and he tried to make it like, I did that to you? Oh, I didn't do that. I'm like, come on, man. I have no reason to sit up and lie. He was like, what did my thing look like? He actually asked me, what did his penis look like? That was, you know, and he was like, I'm sorry if I'm the reason why you gay, you know what I'm saying? And I told him, man, you need to pray to God and ask God for forgiveness, you know, more so than talking to me, actually, you know, me for anything. And he was like, well, I'm scared to come to California. I'm like, I'm not going to do nothing to you because I'm not a violent, evil person like that. Right. You know, God, if I do God's work, then God going to take care of me, you know, so I'm cool. You do you. I pray you're not doing this to no more kids. I would like the authority to check into that, you know.
Or haven't,
right. You know.
And that's the thing. It's like some people say, oh, if it's happened to a person, they usually tend to do it to other people. A repeat offender. Or, oh yeah, he did that because it was done to him. But just because it was done to you does not mean you need to do it again. To do it to somebody else. Yeah, me and my therapist talked about that intensely about repeat offenders because I was like, repeat offender? I didn't know. So once he explained it to me and broke it down to me, I was like, oh, more aware of what it was, and you know, glad I didn't have those feelings. You know, right. You know, so real, because it's like, why would I want to violate somebody's innocence? Take their innocence because mine was taken. Right. You know? Right, and a lot of that has to do with the work. Yeah. You have to do the work because if you didn't do the work, then okay, I could see you doing it happened to me, so I'm gonna do it to the next person. Okay, you need to do the work. That's a cop out.
Right.
I said it. It's a cop out.
Yes, it is. Yeah, and I did a lot of work and continue to do work.
Right.
Until the day I die, and which brings me to the ballroom scene. Which I do for my extracurricular activity. I walk a category called Thug Realness. And
before you say that, explain the ballroom scene. What's that?
Ballroom is because
right now I'm
Hollywood.
Yeah,
Hollywood have their Grammys and their awards shows and for who did this and who did that. Well, Ballroom has they scene and the Grammys. They give out trophies and awards for walking different categories that fit what you want to do, so you can express yourself. It's like an expression for the gay community to walk a ball, travel, win money, win trophies, get your name out there, put your house name out there.
Okay, so
Ebony.
so what's a house?
The house is like a family. People, a lot of gay and transgender people lose their family. They don't want to have nothing to do with them. So when you come into the ballroom family, you get into a ballroom family, you have your mother, your father, and they supposed to love you and take care of you as if you are their own. Okay. Make sure you going to work, make sure you're going to school, doing the things you need to do. And if you need therapy, go get some help. If you need recovery, go get some help. That's what a ballroom parent is supposed to do. And the kids usually walk balls, thug realness with a twist, face, fashion, categories and stuff like that.
Okay. I may have to insert the clip.
Yeah, because I went to Texas, and like you said, I made it to the end, but I lost to my House of Ebony brother, because usually house members don't walk against each other, but this was a ball where anybody could walk. So I made it to the end, but my brother won. Okay. And right now, he's like living as a transgender. Okay. But he's, that's my sis now. We just switch it up. It's like whatever you want to do, I'm fine with it. I got your back.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It was.
Yeah, it was interesting.
That's not the word I want to use. No.
Okay, when me and dudes start going back and getting pumped with each other.
It was like, what? I was like, okay.
Yeah, sometimes it get a little like roo-roo, but we try to keep it cool to where it's like, hey, this is all for, the scene, but you have had fights break out. And,
really?
Oh, yeah, people get into a lot of fights because a lot of people is sensitive and they want to win. And a lot of judges, not exactly honest. They're like, well, I know her better than I know you, even though you did better. I'm going to give it to her. I want her to win the money. And when it comes like that with me, I'm like, I'm a real cat anyway, so you could pick him winning Thug Realness over me because I'm a gangster anyway, so cool. Yeah. And like I said, I went to Atlanta, New York, to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Texas, New York, those like 5 places. Okay. LA and Vegas,
Okay, and how many trophies have you won?
I have a whole cabinet full of trophies. I won a lot of trophies. I walked a lot of balls in the Bay Area in LA at first until someone from New York was like, we've been seeing you on social media and we see now that you're a 007. Which is somebody who's not in nobody's house. They're freelancing. Okay. And they was like, we want you to be the father of the West Coast of our chapter in New York. And I was like, whoa, okay. So I was Father Valentino, which we switched over to Elite. Okay. And, I was traveling out there, doing a bunch of traveling, and I just really kind of felt like, they wasn't having my back enough, but the love was there. But so I just, just cut my ties. And that's when the Ebony's, my sister Felicia was like, okay, it's time for you to be an Ebony now, And I was like, I'll just be a member.
Okay.
Because being a father, you have to pay for this, pay for that. Make sure this is right. Make sure that is right. Make sure these kids are
A lot of responsibility.
Open your house, and things like that. And, just I guess I really wasn't ready for all that.
Okay.
But I still love being a member.
Okay. So now, Lee today,
it's all about God and Jesus. Mainly, it's about God and Jesus and loving people and, understanding God's commandments and trying my best to live by them with being the man who I am, and it's not about sex with people. I was so highly sexually active in my 20s and 30s behind all the things I've been through, and to where at a point where I just asked God, please just help me stop it. Because it was starting to feel sick and disgusting, like somebody poured a can of oil down my throat, but once I got that out my system, and I'm pretty flirtatious, and I love taking body pictures to show my body, not to be nasty, but to say, hey, this is what God blessed me with. I love myself.
I'm free.
If I'm free, if you don't like it, don't look at it.
Right.
Because on Twitter it goes down. But on Facebook I gotta keep it cute. Facebook and Instagram I gotta keep it PG.
Well, I mean, for me, a lot of times, sex has a lot. It's like you're trying to prove something. You're trying to find something. You're trying to,
Right.
I could pull this person. I could pull that person. Yeah. I could do this. I could, and it's just, it's dominating. I could do what I want.
Yeah.
And yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Bring it back. But I mean, so to me, take that out of the equation, and you're friendly.
Yeah.
You're joyful. You're yeah, we can call it flirtatious, but witty.
Yeah. Right.
But I think, and it's not just a homosexual thing. It's not just a female thing. It's not just a male thing. It's a people thing.
It's a people thing, right?
It's like I could pull how many girls just because I can, and okay, you're missing something. What are you going through?
Yeah,
because you're going through something.
That's what I was
to
on.
Just be bouncing around from person to person. Been there.
Yeah. Now I don't like people to touch me too much because I feel like when somebody touch me, their spirit is entering my body. So if you have an evil spirit on you and you touch me, now it's on me. And I, I like to be around good spirits. So when you touch me, it's like, okay, that felt positive. It wasn't an evil touch or a soft run down my arm because that just like, stop it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I just like to enjoy myself. And, I still deal with my traumas and my pains and aches that I go through from all the things that I endured, because I was dragged down the streets by a car selling drugs. And he dragged me for a block before he seen another car about to cross. And so he ran into that car and it flipped me and threw me. And so I can only say that God had me because I was out for a minute, but when I woke up, I seen the whole hood running towards me. And I stood up, and they was like, we thought you was dead. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I wasn't.
And that's a part of that life.
Right.
That's a part of that life that you were in, trying to find yourself. Yeah. Because we didn't take care of the trauma to begin with.
Right.
And we as adults, as survivors, need to know that with our young people, we need to be there for them, support them. I'm an advocate, like I said, for therapy.
Yeah.
I'm an advocate for therapy, and I say it all the time. I have my kids in therapy.
Yeah.
I talk to my kids. I try to be there, for them, in whatever they need. And because I think as a kid, if you would have got therapy at 6 and really walked through that,
Yeah.
you might not have gone through.
I would have so much more strength, and
Yeah,
I've
but
been
all the
through
drugs,
that. Yeah.
all the jail,
Yeah. Well,
a
God
lot of
kept
that
saving
might
me.
not.
That was God kept like, I'm trying to save you. I'm
Right.
trying to save you. You know, because my partner that I ran with, you know, they just sent him to YA, and then they sent him to prison. But me, they kept sending me to drug programs, and it made me think when I got older, God was trying to save me. God seen something that, like, you're only doing this because of the hurt and pain that you're in.
Exactly.
You're not doing this because this is who you are.
Exactly.
And I started realizing that, you know, and I'm like, wow.
And they probably saw that.
Yeah.
They probably saw that. That's why he went there and you went here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They probably saw he was, no,
Yeah.
that one right there.
My boy,
that one is
he wasn't no joke. We was partners in crime, but he was way more vicious than me.
Right.
You know, I was good to calculate what we was gonna do and help execute it, but he helped execute it. You know, so yeah, you know. But
So,
thank God that part is over. You know.
If we really look at, you know, a lot of stuff right now is save our black boys, and you know, a lot of the police brutality that they're going through right now.
Yeah.
It's like we can't just look at that and try and save them from that. We need to save not only our black boys, but our kids.
A lot of kids are just damaged because they've been through so much and they don't have nobody to talk to and they don't have no expression. And a lot of boys, they're so masculine. They like, I was touched when I was a little boy and I liked it, but I'm not supposed to like it. Why didn't I say something? I should have said, I'm going to tell mama. Why wasn't I one of those?
Right. But
we mentally go through so much to where it's like, we start hurting people, you know.
But see, here's the thing, right? I took a child development class, and there's a stage called the oral stage, and they talked about, you know, sexual feelings and this and this and that, and you're sitting here going, okay, but we as people who ain't studied or think we know everything, you know, well, why? Why did you like it and this and this and that?
Yeah.
You're a kid. You're still trying to figure stuff out.
Right.
Like, okay, and if something sexual, it's like, oh, okay, it arouses your body, and okay, this feeling, this euphoric feeling or whatever.
It was just so much love around me to where I didn't think it was nothing going wrong until that day I was told, don't tell again. That's when it dawned on me like, whoa, I'm doing something wrong. And that's when all that stinking thinking started at 4 years old to where, you know, let me sneak in the kitchen and get this, but don't tell mama what I'm doing, you know. But mama always knew something was going on. See what I could get away with. Right.
But I definitely commend you. I thank you. I truly thank you for
I thank you too.
I mean, everything just kind of fell into place. And then when I text you and I was like, okay, I'll send you the information.
That was just like the light of my life. I was like, God, you know, I've always wanted to really get a stage where I could tell my story to where it could help people and people can say, wow, that was deep. You know, I'm sorry you went through that, and I went through that too, you know, and you helped me, you know.
Yeah, and it needs to be said.
Right. Just like parents need to watch their kids. You know, parents really need to watch their kids. I'm a person that I've babysitted my kids and, I mean, my cousins and stuff like that, you know, and I feel I'm a trustworthy person, but I know me.
Right.
I don't know other people.
Right.
So if I had kids, I would be so cautious on sending my kids to these people because this happened to me from my cousin who was very loving and everybody loved him. All the girls wanted him, but he wanted me, a 4-year-old. So watch them kids.
Right.
You know?
You got to. And listen to them.
Yeah.
And listen to them. You know, a lot of people, they don't know what they're talking about. They just 4. No. 4-year-olds are very,
If they're doing a bunch of acting out, you got to find out why. What's going on? Make them feel comfortable. I was scared to death to talk to my mama about anything.
Right.
Because my mama said, if y'all tell me the truth, I'll be cool. I'll let it go. But if you lie to me, it's on. So my sister said, Mama, when I told you Junior ate the Halloween candy, I ate that candy. She said, you wait till I get off this motherfucker. So, if you go say that, mean that,
right.
Let your kids feel free with talking.
Right. And I think for me, I was afraid they was going to kill him. It wasn't about, how some people go, if you tell I'm going to kill your family and this and that. I wasn't worrying about you killing my family. I was worrying about them killing you and my mama going to jail like my daddy was.
Yeah.
And then I'd have no parents. And then, my cousin would have no daddy because you'd be dead. And then, so as a kid, this is what I was thinking in my reasoning why I shouldn't say anything. And I really feel like sometimes you're trying to save everybody else.
Yeah.
But you're suffering.
Yeah.
And because you kind of want to keep it, keep everything normal.
Yeah.
It's not normal, but you want to keep everything to what you know as normal.
Right.
And as long as, we as a people got to do better. Yeah. We got to do better. We got to pay attention to our children. We have to watch our children. We have to know who is who.
Yeah.
Who do what.
Yeah.
And not because, he's homosexual, so don't let your kids go over there with him.
Yeah.
What that got to do with anything?
It got nothing to do with nothing.
This one ain't.
Yeah.
And that's the one going around doing it all.
Right.
So,
yeah.
We need to really look at how we view people and, be aware of who is doing what and acknowledge it.
Yes.
Quit sweeping it under the rug. Oh no, he's so handsome. He would never do none of that.
Yeah, right. And that's exactly what he's doing, right? Yeah.
So
they ran my cousin out of Mississippi, so from what I know, he couldn't even go back after I told when I was 6. They ran him out that night, but we just never talked about it again.
Right.
They felt like that was enough.
Right. Right. And that's not okay. What we did not talk about though, that we talked about the other night was the suicide attempt.
Yeah. When I was about 19, and I had, been through the programs and went to jail for having a fight with my cousin Aretha Franklin and stayed in jail for 6 months, and the judge was like, you fought Aretha Franklin? But when I was 19, I got so tired and disgusted from all the stuff that I had went through and that I was abusing myself on top of what I went through. So I was like, I might as well just kill myself if I'm just going to keep smoking crack and drinking alcohol just to get beat up by the dudes in the hood. When I get drunk and get high, it's just like, I was just miserable. So I took about 12 pills. And when I took them, I said, Mama, look what I did. And she was like, you stupid motherfucker, what you do that for? And she called 911. So when they came, they was like, okay, he took like some Tylenol, so he need to walk. And they was like, if you don't want to walk, we'll take you to the hospital and pump your stomach. So I just walked around all night. But I was so glad that them pills that I took didn't kill me. Because after I took them, I didn't want to die no more. Instantly, I didn't want to die no more, but all the pills was down my throat. I was like, what the fuck did I just do? So, you have to just think it out,
Yeah. And some people do stuff where they're not able to.
Yeah.
And, you live another day to get better.
Yeah.
And it's sad, but some people don't get that opportunity. You know, all a lot of people really needed was someone to talk to.
Yeah, that's
Someone.
That's
to
all
listen.
I needed was somebody to talk to and some hugs, because I was so sensitive and I had a feminine inside that wasn't nourished and taken care of. You know, the softer side of me that I call feminine. You know, because it's very soft and nurturing. You know, I post a lot of people pictures. I love on people. I go to people birthday parties. I give gifts. Cash out my family if they need it. You know, friends, and you know, I just got so much love for God's children. And so when somebody hurt me or do something to mistreat me or not loyal to me, it just breaks me down to where now I'm not a truster of people. I don't trust people because they make mistakes. And, and if I trust you, that means I'm not going to love you no more once you make that mistake, and I'm done with you. So, you know, when people do things and I'm like, well, it happens, you know.
You just have to protect.
I make them be accountable for it, though. I don't let nobody get away with nothing. Anybody know me, know I'm a very fierce person when it comes to making people be accountable for what they say to me, what they do to me. I am precious. I'm valuable. I'm worthy, you know, and I don't care if it's Beyonce. Excuse me. You step. You know, do I need to talk to Jay-Z? You know, I don't have a problem with it. You know, but I'm not. Yeah, you know, I'm not violent with it. But I feel I need to have a voice for myself and for other people, the underdogs and people who can't fight for themselves. You know, dope fiends and people, homeless people, and the gay people that really scary. And you know, I try to stand up and talk for them. You know, be a voice.
And I love that. I love that. It is. Some of us have had that for a long time.
Yeah.
And I see that in my daughter. That was me. I would always defend, you know, my nephew. My nephew Turkey, who is now no longer with us.
My condolences.
They used to get on him in high school. You know, they feminine, hung out with the girls, you know, wore the tighter pants than the boys, and you know, the boys used to always call him gay and this and that, and I was so upset. I used to be ready to fight them all. Like, don't be saying that to him. Leave him alone. And you know, you got something to say to him, say it to me. And then, you know,
that's how my sister was. She was very protective.
Yeah,
you know,
and it was just because it's like y'all always picking on him, like, you know. And I mean, it got to the point to one time they was just like, well, is you gay? Like, because y'all, they never saw me with boys or, you know, like that. Just because I wasn't letting y'all touch on my booty and all the stuff don't mean that I'm a lesbian. But I'm going to stand up for him because it's not right.
It's not right, that's good you have that.
And I see that in my daughter.
Yeah.
I see that in my daughter. And it's just like...
Because we learn from our parents. I learned a lot from my mom, and my dad was my everything when it came to, you know, because when my mom got dressed on the weekends, you couldn't tell me she wasn't the baddest thing moving. And my daddy was just so handsome and masculine. Then they made the perfect couple, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, man.
The beauty.
Yeah, the beauty of it, you know what I'm saying? And I just always hung with my sister and her friends, and that's why everybody was like, he a little suspect. He always with the girls.
Always with the girls, yeah.
You know
that's exactly what they used to say about her.
And I knew that I was a suspect, so I was like, oh, shit.
They see me.
I got to flip this up somehow. So the hood really helped made me very beastie.
Right.
Yeah,
but why,
you know.
Why I got to be on either side?
Yeah.
Why I just can't be me?
Right. I couldn't.
Why I just can't be me? Oh, that's just Lee. That's just who Lee is. Lee not this, Lee not that. Lee is Lee.
Yeah. And when I made that Renfro name pop like it did, that's when I felt comfortable. I felt like, now, you know what I'm saying, fuck with me now, you know what I'm saying? Because I knew how to chunk them things and protect myself, you know, and that's when I became a piece of work. But God, you know, he was like, everywhere. I felt like when I hurt other people, things that came back around on me, karma. Karma do exist. I was like, wow, you know.
Yeah, you can defend yourself and
Yeah,
not overdo it, but
right.
you do have to protect yourself because people are
Vicious.
man.
Yeah.
You know, kids have no filter.
Mm-mm.
So when
These
you're
kids
a kid,
are crazy
they
nowadays.
have no filter.
They don't really.
They didn't have no filter.
They beating up
when we
old
was little.
people, but we respected old people. We didn't
No,
beat up old people and stuff, you
That's
know.
true.
But it came from the generation. Like my mom's generation, they didn't even talk back to their parents.
Mm-hmm.
Then our generation, we start talking back to our parents.
So we
now
tried.
the generation after us is beating up our parents.
Right.
Yeah, we tried.
We tried.
You know, but we got away with it more than they did.
No, okay, no, I had to dig my lips off the wall a couple times.
Well, I did.
And I didn't even get it all out.
Yeah, but my friends and my sister friends, they friends would be, mama, you know, and they would really pop off. Mm-hmm. And that's what my sister was like, we are being ran like we in boot camp where all my friends get to do what they want to. Mm-hmm. And their parents buy them all kind of fashionable clothes and stuff. Mm-hmm. But mama was taking us to wear nice stuff. Mm-hmm. But, you know, I could only fit covered. Ben Davis, you know.
Your body covered.
That's what mama was at. But
your body
my sister was like, I need to be about that life.
Feet, you got,
yeah.
You don't have holes.
Yeah.
Oh, I do.
But yeah,
my we can't say that now. You don't have holes in your clothes because all the pants.
They're clothes, yeah.
You can't find none without holes.
Without holes in them.
So yeah, this has been awesome.
Yes, it has.
I appreciate you for coming and telling your story.
I appreciate you letting me. And
I've said it.
Too.
I've said it before. You know, a lot of times women, you know, will come and they'll say, you know, what's happened to them and this and this and or they're going through this or they're going through that.
Yeah.
We need more black men to stand up.
You are not less than a man to tell your story.
Exactly.
And that somebody hurt you. And
exactly.
Sometimes you might have to be honest. Or that
you're suffering with something.
Yeah. You might have to be honest and like, I was hurt as a little child and I liked it. And I don't know why I liked it because the honesty has to be there.
Right.
Because if you lie at any point, that's where the growth stops.
Right.
And you're not growing past that point because you're lying to yourself. You know.
Right.
I heard you say one time in your last, your number 6.
Okay.
That you know you have to be on yourself and you can't lie to yourself. You know. You have to be 100.
That's first and foremost. Mm-hmm. That's first and foremost because if you're not honest with you,
it's a wrap.
How you gonna how are you even being honest to anybody else if you're not honest with yourself first?
Right.
Secondly, you know, I'm like you said, I'm gonna be stuck. There's no growth. I can't love my growth if I'm constantly, you know, oh no, I don't suffer from that. Oh no, I do. I suffer every day.
Yeah.
And I push myself, and every day I show growth because I get up out that bed.
Yeah.
And I move forward.
Right.
I interact with people.
Thank you,
I
God.
get out the house. Yes. I so appreciate you. Was there anything else you wanted to share with the audience? Any tips that you want to leave us with?
Believe in God. Have faith in Jesus. Respect people. Love people. Be honest with people. You know. Kill the hate.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. All hate. I know a lot of Asian hate is going on right now.
Yeah, all hate.
You know, transgender hate. You know. Again.
And shout out to my Ballroom family.
Okay.
The iconic House of Ebony.
Okay.
The international house of
it's funny because I was telling you about my nephew who ended up being my niece. She was killed.
Oh no.
I don't even remember the year. But it was April 28th. She was shot by a guy that was trying to talk to her. Yeah. You know, when you realized that she used to be a he, he shot her.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear. And beautiful person.
Yeah.
Beautiful, infectious laugh. Just everything about her. But because he was embarrassed.
Yeah, he took her life.
Yeah, and just hateful.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta take people who they are. You know, if it's a beautiful person, it's a beautiful person.
And if you don't want to, just walk away. You don't have to deal with that person. You don't have to throw digs at that
my bad.
person.
I'm not into that.
Not into that.
You do look nice, but I'm not into that, so I'm gonna go this way. Nice to meet you. That's it. That's all.
Yeah.
You can do it with a female. Why you can't do it with somebody who is living as a female?
Right.
Who gonna know?
Yeah.
Because that's what you're worried about.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're worried about is how other people are going to perceive you because you found this person attractive.
Right.
And, come on.
And to a lot of my transgender sisters, a lot of these men, just because they're beautiful or got money or big swipe, it's not worth losing your life over.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not. And some of them beautiful people, sometimes you find out they aren't actually that beautiful.
They on the inside,
Right.
Yeah.
So
or once you take off all the makeup or even with the man, once he gets you behind closed doors, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, he want to choke you and beat you and pull you,
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Somebody slapped me and choked me. I was like, hold on, dude, what kind of game is this? Man, he was just like, I thought it was cool just to get, I was like, no, I don't get out like that. Yeah, I'm ready to do something to you up in here to slap me. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, people, they get deep.
I appreciate you.
For sure, I appreciate
This has been a wonderful, wonderful episode. I really, truly hope that my viewers learn something. If not just by Lee's story, learn that we all have been through something.
Yeah.
And in order for you to grow, you have to do that trauma work. You have to acknowledge what's happened to you. You have to talk about it. You have to get it out. Because if not, it's going to constantly eat at you.
Right.
So just that. Knowing a pedophile is a person, not a woman, not a man, not a homosexual, not transgender, not
homosexual
black,
have
not
sex with
white.
the same gender, the same sex.
Yeah, exactly.
Pedophile have sex with kids.
Exactly. So definitely do your research.
Yeah.
Learn. Pick up a book.
Yeah, for my hood, I just want my hood to know, I did say a lot of things that I went through a lot of trauma, but I love my hood so much. I'm definitely rock solid for life. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, that's all I kept hearing. Double rock, two rock, Alice Griffin.
Right. I love my hood. I sent them through things. They sent me through things. Hey.
And you here.
And we here.
And you here.
Yeah.
So I do want to thank you guys for tuning in. My next episode, I'm going on the therapy side. I'm gonna bring in a therapist and we gonna talk. So
that's gonna be big.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Well, thank you for this platform.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah.
If I do something else, I will reach out to you.
What's your name again?
You know.
Don.
Yeah, him. He like,
because we still recording. I don't want to be.
So I do want to go ahead and I did not prepare a product or a service, and I know my last few episodes I promoted OCAR, our community, as a resource, but this particular episode I'm gonna promote myself. Your girl has her certifications. Your girl is coming. She is a business coach, a transformation coach. If you trying to get to something and you struggling, reach out. I'm here to help you reach whatever goal it is that you're looking for. If you are a new entrepreneur, you trying to get your business off the ground, you have some ideas but you're not sure where you want to go ahead and inbox me, reach out to me. I'm here to help you. My previous clients, current clients, are so elated with the progress that we are accomplishing, and I'm here for you. Coach Lavette is here. Reach out. Let's get some work done. Let's get these businesses going.
Got it, I mean?
Yes. So I do thank you. Tune in next time. And we are almost out. Did you learn anything today? I know I did. I learned a lot.
I did.
Even though you touched on Ballroom just a little bit, I'm going to go research it just a little bit more.
I'll send you some more clips.
Okay,
too.
okay. So whatever. I hope you learned something today. Can you apply what you learned today to your life? If so, you have grown. Love it. I will see y'all next time.
Welcome everybody to the Translucent Podcast today. And today